Ah, Xenoblade. I still remember when this game was getting tons of hype and controversy due to the fact that Nintendo would not release this game in America despite releasing it in Europe, Australia, and Japan. And even though it had been localized in English, people were wanting and demanding an English release in America. And of course, there was a campaign to localize the games called Operation Rainfall. And it only succeeded with one of the three games, as the other two games ended up getting picked up by Xseed Games for localization, and were eventually released in America as well, but not from Nintendo. Due to this, Xenoblade had a very messed up release. It was released in only two stores, GameStop and Nintendo's official website, and not to the Walmarts or Best Buys or any places like that. The game was hard to find, and eventually the game ended up becoming the Panzer Dragoon Saga of the Wii. Except the difference with that game is while that game is actually rare, with Amazon only having a few listings at once along with eBay, this game literally floods Amazon and eBay with tons of auctions going from $60 at lowest to $80 to $90 at the most. I'm not even joking, this game is jacked up. Even though this is a game that originally came out the same year as stuff such as Call of Duty Black Ops or Halo Reach, this game goes for a high price. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a Nintendo game, with the lower print run than usual for Nintendo games. And while the prices briefly dipped when GameStop flooded the market with copies and caused a backlash among the game hoarding community because it's only okay when they do it, the prices have since surged thanks to the Wii U sequel coming soon. But let's take a step back from all this and let's wonder, is the game worth the hype? Is the game actually good enough that you'd spend $80 to $90 for it? Well, I have a friend who let me borrow a copy of this game, and I am here reviewing this game on my Nintendo Wii U. So let's start the review, shall we? So the first thing I'll mention is that when this game came out, PC, PS3, and 360 gamers were playing Fallout New Vegas, because that game came out in 2010. But anyways, let's get back to the review. I just thought I'd throw that in there as context. When you boot the game up, you are reminded that you are in fact playing a Wii game, as you get to look at these cutscenes. I mean, these cutscenes are not rendered that well. The textures are poor, the graphics are mediocre, but keep in mind, this is a Wii game. Keep in mind, this is a console game. This is not a PSP game, this is a Wii game. And when you see the graphics, you're reminded of something big. That this game is being held back by this weak, underpowered hardware graphically. But not only that, but the art style looks like a cut-rate version of Final Fantasy. I mean, I'm not even joking. Have you seen like how Final Fantasy looks? Well, this looks like a cut-rate version of the Final Fantasy series, pretty much. I mean, the graphics are not impressive whatsoever, unless you think this is 2001 still. Because these graphics look like a PSP game, they really do. Same with the cutscenes as well. But the cutscenes aren't just short cutscenes, these cutscenes last a long time. Think Metal Gear Solid. Now you might be wondering why I'm talking about graphics so much with the Nintendo Wii game. Let me tell you why I am criticizing these graphics. You see, one of the main goals with any Japanese role-playing game is presentation. You have to show the player how this game's going to have a good storyline, how this game looks amazing, how this game sucks you into this world. I mean, Square Enix role-playing games were great at this. Many of their old role-playing games on the PlayStation 2, the Super Nintendo, would try to suck you in, and many times they do a good job at it. Of course, sadly, the quality of their games has fallen off in recent years, but their old games are classics. A lot of people are going to be looking back at stuff such as Final Fantasy XII, The Last Remnant, Chrono Trigger, or Chrono Cross, which in my opinion is a better game than Chrono Trigger, with praise. And one of the things they'll be remembered for is their presentation. And I'm not complaining about how these graphics look just dated. I mean, these graphics look like they're from 2001. Because let's be honest here, these are Unreal Engine 1 level graphics here. It's also the fact that with this game, the art style is pretty bland. I mean, this has got to be one of the most generic Japanese role-playing game art styles ever. So when you combine it with the graphics that look dated, even for a late PS2 game, yeah, I'm comparing it with that because these graphics aren't even comparable with 2010 games on the other systems. I mean, games like Nocturne or Final Fantasy XII were much more eye-pleasing, along with being more technically impressive graphically. But you know, at the same time, maybe I should not have talked so much about graphics because the Nintendo audience probably wouldn't care if the next game in the Mario series or Pokemon series looked like an Apple II game graphically. I mean, there are people who actually thought Pokemon X and Y was visually impressive, so yeah. Let's talk about something else, the gameplay. Now, the battle system in this game could be summed up as this. You move up to an enemy, you push L and R to select them. As from what I played, you could only select one at once. And of course, the other problem with this is the fact that instead of just pushing A to initiate a battle, or some other button, or running up to them, you have to hit a button to select them. I mean, in Fallout and those kind of games, they felt truly open world, but in this game, it feels like I'm playing an easy version of, like, let's just say, Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross or other role-playing games where you get to see enemies on the overworld and run into them and battle them. But unlike other games where you have to make an effort to dodge them, this game casualizes it for the Nintendo audience, where all you have to do is walk up to an enemy and push a button to target them. So if you get used to other role-playing games where you actually have to, make an effort to avoid enemies and stuff, this game feels like it was designed for those people who couldn't handle Fallout. And that's what this game really feels like. It does. I mean, despite this game being advertised as an open world, this is possibly one of the blandest open worlds I've seen in a video game. I mean, from the fact that it's pretty frustrating that you have to select an enemy, and even then enemies didn't just go up and attack me from what I played of it. I mean, here's the thing. This game doesn't even hook you like Fallout does, or other role-playing games, nor do the enemies actually make the game a challenge. Unlike Fallout where it's hard, this game feels like it's for the Nintendo audience. You know, the ones who will make websites talking about how hard Nintendo games are, but like, don't even play anything but Nintendo games. Because Xenoblade is possibly one of the most casualized and automated Japanese role-playing games I've played. I mean, this game does nothing to hook you in, at least from what I've played of it. Because here's the thing, this game gets boring real quick. I mean, not only does the game even hit the A button for you in text dialogue, so you can't just take a second to read it, it also does some other amazing things too, like with battles. The battles are extremely easy. Unlike other role-playing games, where you have to actually heal yourself up after like a mission or something, this game heals you up after every battle automatically. I mean, if that doesn't scream easy, I don't know what does. The battle system in this game is also slow and clunky. To finish a battle, it takes a while for each battle, even just for a little level 1 enemy, and it gets frustrating and boring real quick. I mean, I guarantee you might, need a pillow after you're done playing this game, because I'm not even joking. I played this game late at night, I think at 11 or 12 at night, when I was recording this, and, I felt like going to bed after playing this game, and usually I stay up real late. So I will thank this game for helping me go to bed sooner tonight. And let's not forget the quests in this game, because an open world game should offer you plenty of stuff to do, right? Well, let's take a look at the quests I was given early on in the game. Oh man, a quest. Let's see what this quest is. Oh man, some random person needs an item. Find this item. Oh look, another quest. Let's see what it is. Oh man, Shulk. I've broken this. Please, fix this item for me. Okay? Oh look, another quest. Hey, I've lost my wedding ring. Wow. I mean, this is an actual quest in the game. This game is just fetch quests everywhere. I mean, I totally feel for this resident who lost his wedding ring somewhere. I mean, this is totally an immersive game. Do boring quests for these boring people. Wow, I mean, this is Game of the Year material, people. Hey, Shulk, go get this. Hey, Shulk, go get that. Hey, Nico, let's go bowling. And that's the thing. It's hard to get into a role-playing game when it just gives you fetch quest after fetch quest after fetch quest, and they're not even fun because this whole game has the dullest battle system in any recent role-playing game I've played. Because this game is just boring. It really is. And the worst part is that people overpay for this game. People pay $70, $80, sometimes $90 for this game. Now, maybe I'm less biased than that guy who paid $80 to $90 for this game, and maybe that's why I'm not liking this game. But here's the thing with games like this. That is just too much to pay for any game, and especially a mediocre game like this, because this game is just pure mediocrity. I mean, how is this game so hyped up again? It's one of the most boring games I've played lately. And that's all that really needs to be said. This game is a boring waste of time. It's not fun or innovative like people are making it out to be. It's just boring. I mean, there are so many better role-playing games out there, and yet this is getting all the hype. I'm guessing that must mean Japanese role-playing games are dead then, right? Well, that's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.